The phone vibrated at 1:13 a.m. A message from my daughter. No punctuation, no greeting, just, "She's staying at the Fairmont tonight, room 507. It's for the best." For the best. I lay in the dark, the ceiling dissolving into black, her words repeating in my head like the click of a safety catch. My wife of 30 years. My daughter, our daughter, sending me the coordinates to watch my life fracture. I didn't call back, didn't ask questions. There's a kind of quiet you can only reach when there's nothing left to salvage. I put the phone down, sat up. Somewhere in the city, she was lying in a bed that wasn't ours, listening to another man's breathing. The clock ticked. Mine didn't. By 1:20, I had decided what needed to happen. Not to them, to me. The first time I noticed something, it was small. She smiled differently at her phone. Not at me, not at anyone else, just the screen. Then came the unexplained late dinners, the faint trace of cologne that didn't belong in our house. I told myself it was work. I told myself lies so quietly I almost believed them. But my daughter, always too observant, began making strange suggestions. "Maybe you should give Mom more space. Let her feel free. It's healthy." She said it casually, over coffee, like she wasn't loosening the bolts of the bridge I stood on. I didn't connect it then, not fully. I thought she was misguided, not complicit. But the night of the message, her choice of words, "for the best," sounded rehearsed. Sympathetic on the surface, hollow underneath. I didn't argue, didn't go to the hotel. I just began planning. 3 weeks, that's how long I let it breathe. I became a shadow in my own home. Calm, polite, predictable. The kind of man no one suspects is already dismantling the room from the inside. I checked her phone while she showered, downloaded her call logs, her messages. A name appeared often, first name only, Daniel. I traced the number to an office supply rep. Married, no children, photographed in corporate newsletters with the same fixed grin in every frame. I collected hotel receipts from the glove compartment of her car. She didn't hide them well. Guilt makes people lazy. But my daughter, her involvement wasn't clear yet. I found nothing in writing, only patterns. She'd be the one to suggest Mom take a spa weekend, to encourage her to reconnect with herself. Every breadcrumb she dropped led my wife closer to him, and me further from them both. The DNA test was almost an afterthought, something to confirm a suspicion I had buried years ago when our daughter was born and her eyes didn't quite match mine. When the envelope came, I didn't open it, not yet. Some truths need to ripen before you cut them open. It was a Wednesday night when I read it. The words were clinical, printed in neat black type. Probability of paternity, 0%. I stared until the ink blurred. No rage, just confirmation. I set the envelope on the kitchen counter, waited for her to come home. When she walked in, I didn't greet her, didn't look up from the table. I slid the envelope toward her. She hesitated, opened it, read. Her breath caught. She sat down slowly, like the air had been pulled from the room. I said nothing. Her lips moved without sound, her eyes wet but unfocused. I didn't offer comfort. The next morning I was gone before they woke. By noon the house was stripped of my things. Bank accounts shifted. Joint assets locked in pending litigation I had filed weeks earlier, prepared quietly, waiting for the right trigger. I sent my daughter a message. Short. Ask your mother who your father is. No accusation, no explanation, just a seed. By evening she called. I didn't answer. 2 days later, a mutual friend told me my wife had left the house. My daughter wasn't speaking to her. Daniel had blocked her number. 3 lives, all tangled together in deceit, now unraveling in separate directions. I never raised my voice, never demanded answers. They were left to answer themselves. I rented a small place by the water. The air smelled of salt and metal. The first night, I sat on the balcony watching the tide erase footprints from the sand. 30 years, compressed into a thin folder of legal documents on my desk. A marriage, a child, a history, gone, yet somehow cleaner this way. People think revenge is about fury. It isn't. It's about leaving a silence so sharp it cuts on its own. I didn't care who my daughter called Dad now. I didn't care who my wife lay beside. What mattered was the truth was no longer mine to carry. It was theirs, and the weight of it would never leave them. Some debts aren't collected with money or blood. They're collected in the quiet, when there's nothing left to say.